under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Shea?
Here.
Mrs. Maroney?
Here.
Mrs. Ward?
Here.
Mr. Brescher?
Here.
Mr. DiStefano?
Here.
Mr. Patel?
Here.
All present, Mrs. Smattaker, Mr. Arrico, and Mrs. Peng.
Opening statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Edison Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Board of Education and administrative offices. Copies of these notices were sent to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 8th and 23rd, 2018. The public may participate at regular meetings in accordance with the bylaws and the applicable state regulations. So we have a couple meeting minutes, April 18 and April 23rd. Any member who have any questions about these minutes can contact Mr. Michaud. So move on. Dr. O'Malley, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Shea. Under Superintendent's report, item A is Superintendent's miracles. If anyone has any questions, they're included in your packet. Any information that you would need an additional? Any questions on that? Item B is the attendance policy revision. Actually, what is added from our policy committee. Mrs. Peng and should be had given some additional information. That's what included in red. That's sort of what we, and neither one of them are here, but we incorporated basically what we came out of that policy meeting to talk about the illnesses. So anyone else?
So
Sure.
This came out of the committee.
This came out of the committee, and both of them, this was what they were trying to incorporate. So we will have this, probably, if you have any questions, you could email me and I can forward to other members of the committee, or we can have that discussion for Monday night as well. But the red is what is included that was not there prior, but that's what came out of the committee. Item number, letter C, I should say, is the revision to the calendar. Now, just so I'm very clear, this is the 18-19 school calendar. So we got some good news that Rutgers was able to accommodate the request to have our graduation on Friday, the 21st. So we're able to add a few more additional days. We have 184 days, so the graduation will be on the 21st. And it will be one will be at 1 o'clock and one will be at 4:30, I believe is the time. So we're able to shift those times as well, incorporate some additional days for the impending weather. The other change was coming from the administration. Rather than be an early dismissal day on the first day of school, we'd rather have a delayed opening. So the principals and everyone can be with their staff first, and then the students would come in. It will be an interesting day, as bus transportation is always interesting on the first day, and the first day being delayed.
Yeah, so we're very interested.
I look forward to calling Dan and finding out how that works out.
We'll call you at any
Call me and let me know if you need any help, and I'll be sure to make sure Dan is there. So those were just the changes to the calendar. So I think we accomplished some of those goals that we were looking to do, and Rutgers was finally able to come through. That was good news. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I just, I spoke to you before and we discussed when the calendar first came out. I would like to propose to add Eid holiday on this calendar.
Which holiday?
Eid. I think it's June 5th.
June 3rd?
June 5th.
June 5th, which is a Wednesday.
Yes.
So if we do that, Mr. Shea, that we will go down to 3 snow days?
3 snow days, yes.
Correct.
Is there going to be a discussion?
We can discuss it now.
We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it?
No, we can discuss
okay.
it. If you have
I'm
any
sorry.
concern, this is our forum for that discussion.
Just make sure you have a microphone there, Phil.
Yeah.
There we go. So that is a proposal if anyone wants to add that. not add that. That's where we're at. I would actually like to have the calendar finished.
This is
For
what,
May.
the fourth time?
There's a few revisions to.
Fifth time?
We solidified the other one. Now we're on next year's to do.
Well, the other thing that I'm glad that we're moving the graduation to Fridays, because before it's on Wednesday. It's in the middle, and a lot of parents are still at work, so they have to take 2 more days off. And moving to Friday will help the working parents, at work. So it's just, and also helping with the camp situation. No camp starts, in the middle of the week. It usually starts in the following week. So I hope that we can, with this revision, that will help the parents.
Turn it down? Can't hear.
Yes.
So I have a question. Did you make a proposal for Eid? Was that, on the table? Do you need a second for that? And my second question is, No. Okay. And my second question. Oh, okay. So my second question is, then if we run into a 4th snow day next year, because we did have 4 this year, where would we take it? Because I think everybody would want to know that moving forward. Would the Eid then come off? Would it come off of spring break?
Spring break.
Okay.
That's all Euro practice. It's coming out of spring break.
Okay.
Right.
So the first day right on the calendar right now is February 4th, which is I believe, the Lunar New Year. That's the first day. And once we get further into the calendar, like if you get snow in April,
Stop.
then it would have to come from that one, which would be the remaining, because spring break will already be passed, and the further you get into that. So, because spring break is later next year, so that would be an option. That's why I think he's indicating spring break, because it's late in April versus being early this year. So it could be spring break.
Mr. Shea, I'm not familiar with this holiday, but is this a one-day holiday? Is this,
Yes, they have 2 days. So
Okay.
one is outside of the calendar, and this one is within our school year. So we try to throw a lot. There have been a lot of discussion on this from the community, and we have received in the past at least 3-4 years that they've been requesting that.
okay.
And without a lot of days to move around,
We didn't have an
cannot
opportunity,
accommodate it.
right.
And now with this moving the graduation back to 2 more days, that'll give us this opportunity.
We just verify the date, too.
I think it's June 5th. I can verify with the community.
Okay.
So if there's not any other meetings, I could add that.
If
And
it's
that would be
June
a
5th,
full
yeah.
day off, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's a proposal.
So I'll put that on for Monday. Any other questions on the calendar? So moving to item D, obviously Monday night is our annual teacher recognition. So we'll have the celebration beforehand, and then our ceremony at the beginning of our board meeting on Monday night. Item E is an appointment for Mrs. Maroney to be our representative on the Ed Service Commission of New Jersey. And item F is summer hours that we've had over the past couple of years to continue those summer hours.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on this because, I spoke to Dr. O'Malley at our agenda review. In the past couple of years, during the summertime, we have heavy enrollment. So we want to see if there's anything that can be done to accommodate, the parents who, instead of waiting long lines outside, we'll see if we can accommodate using one of the training rooms inside to at least let them sit inside, have some air conditioning. So that's hope that the summer hours will not impact their, the processing of the applications. And if we can add more people into the application process, that will speed up the whole thing. It's not a go in, take a one paper, and you just get it done. It's just, it's a at least half an hour process. That's my understanding. So if we can have more people involved in this, that would be great.
Yeah, I had explained for the other members of the board with Mr. Shea that we were looking to maybe accommodate the office more in one of the professional development rooms, so they were in the hallway and not outside. We're also looking to do evening hours next year as well, to sort of do some accommodations as well. So I think those are sort of some of the accommodations that Mr. Benedict and some of the personnel will be doing for next year, especially those second, third, and fourth week of August, when we have our largest intake.
And the other thing is, if people are listening and watching this meeting, register early. Do not wait till the last minute. Please. Will help everybody.
So moving on to curriculum instruction, we have several field trips on the agenda. There's 7 of them. And just so you know, we're quite fortunate for some of our schools to make it to the World Competition in Iowa, and it's always been our practice to pay for the accommodations and the travel for our staff that accompany our students to these competitions. So that's why you see the cost to the Board of Education. Those are for our staff members to travel with the students. The next item, professional development. Then we have our out-of-district placements for special ed. There are 5 of them. 3 of them that are returning to district or moved out of the district, and 2 new placements. And then finally, we are celebrating in the midst of this week our special education week, and the services and the staff that provide superior support to our students of need, and the programs that we have in our district, which are top-notch. And so we want to make sure we recognize them during this special education week. And anyone have any questions on any of those items? Seeing none, Mr. Shi, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. O'Malley. Mr. Michaud.
Okay, thank you. If you turn to your finance section, your agenda, you'll see the investment report for the month of April. We received interest in the amount of $24,376, bringing our total for the year up to $213,955. Following that is 6 pages is the Board Secretary's report for the end of March of 2018, and then following that is the Treasurer School Monies report for the same period of time. The resolutions that will be presented for Monday night. The first one's a transfer of funds through March 31st in the amount of $851,500. The 2 biggest ones on here, you see out-of-district tuition. As Dr. O'Malley just mentioned, we have 5 additional ones now coming through. And under educational supplies, you'll see it's a $250,000 transfer, and most of that is for the outfitting of the new addition at Woodbrook School. I had to purchase all the furniture and all the supplies for that school. And we also have $148,000 going into the PERS retirement contribution, which is a charge we get from the state every year for our non-certified staff. And the reason why it's over this much this year is because of the fact, if you remember, we had a very long, lengthy negotiations with the custodians, and we finally settled last year, and all that retroactive pay that we gave them for the 3 years that they hadn't gotten an increase, increased our non-certified payroll, which means the contribution we had to make was higher than we anticipated. So, and the monies I'm taking it from are, again, from the breakage from a lot of people out on unpaid leaves, and some additional funding from the Omnia savings. Item number 2, we discussed this when we decided to put the police officers in the schools. We originally said 600,000, but because we were not able to get the number of police officers that we anticipated, I only need to transfer $450,000 out of our emergency reserve to cover the annual amount for this year. So we're looking to do that for through the end of March. Next item is an amendment to the IDEA Title I. The ESEA Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title III immigrant fund grants. We're not changing the amount of the grants. However, we are changing the amount that was originally submitted to the state for the allocations that were set up. So we did give you a copy of the breakdown of where that's going to be going. So we need that for Monday night also, so we can send it down to the e-week system, the electronic system for the state, to make those changes. Item number 4, we want to add another Ed Services Commission to our list of Ed Service Commission that we currently deal with, which is in Middlesex right now in Somerset. We'd like to add Union County also, because they also have a cooperative for transportation services. And because we've been having some trouble getting coverage from the existing ones, we'd like to add another option for us to be able to use them as a jointure also. So that'll be for Monday night. Item number 5, we had a finance meeting yesterday. If you remember, we sent down for an RFP for a performance audit. We received 2 proposals in. Wisson Company came in not to exceed $68,000, and O'Connor and Davies came in, and they were estimating their total to be about just under $150,000. So the board decided to go with Wisson Company, so we have a resolution to appoint them Monday night. Item number 6, we had an RFP for food services for 1819. We sent it out. 5 different food service companies had asked for a copy of the specifications. However, I only received one, and that was currently Chartwell's, who was doing a great job for us, as you know. But they did increase their guarantee from $310,000 up to $358,000. So every year, for as long as we go with this contract, and it's a 1-year contract, but it can be renewed up to 4 additional years, we will be entitled to $358,070 of guaranteed return that we can reinvest back into the food service operation.
Dan, quick question on that.
Yes.
So it's a 1-year contract. Do we send out a rebid for next year?
No, well, we don't have to.
We don't have to,
can, but we can renew automatically without going out for another RFP for additional 4 years.
And when we would have to let them know if we renew? Is there
We
like a
have to
60 days, 30
Yeah,
days?
we would have to let them know by early May next year.
Okay.
And then in addition to this, they also are doing, as we did in our specification, we asked for an investment into our schools of $500,000, which they've done for the last several contracts, where they do renovations to our current kitchen facilities, especially in our elementary schools, to try to make them better. And then they depreciate that over 5 years, $100,000 a year. If we drop them after 1 year, we would owe them the additional $400,000 of depreciation that they're not going to have these 4 years to take it off.
Yeah, but the thing that if they have invested $500,000, if they have not invested $500,000, that.
Correct. We don't have to pay it back if they didn't spend it.
Yes.
But we do anticipate we do need some improvements to some of our elementary schools, as you know.
Okay. So the other follow-up question, the meal of for different schools, it will be the same. The price will be the same. Right?
Yes, we're not increasing the prices for the meals for next year at all.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next item is a donation from the PTA over at Martin Luther King School. They want to donate $13,975 worth of audio system. To purchase an audio system for their gymnasium. So they really need it over there. So we'd like to accept that donation on Monday night. Number 8, we have some non-public security POs from some non-public schools that we have to approve in advance before they can order those things, and they can see it on as number 8. Most of them are fairly small, but we have one large one for Wardlow Hartridge. It looks like they're going to be purchasing some electronics in the amount of $31,000. So we need to approve those before they can actually order it. Item number 9 is a listing of some obsolete materials we'd like to have it disposed of. Item number 10 is the bill.
Before we go on.
Go ahead.
383 Chromebooks. What is the value of that? What did we pay for those?
They were around $300 a piece.
$300 a piece.
Yeah.
$275.
$275.
So we're talking close to $80,000-$90,000 we're throwing away.
These are the ones that are not in good shape. If they were still in good shape, we could still use them, but these are the ones that are beyond repair. We ordered, as you know, we ordered thousands of them.
Right.
Item number 10 is the bill list for April in the amount of $23,699,000. A copy of the bill list went to every board member, and if you have any questions, please give me a call. And that concludes my report, Mr. Shi.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. So, move on. Board members, open discussions. Any comments from the board members? Yes.
Good evening, everybody. So congratulations to the Hoover Health B team, that's BEE team, which has taken first place in the United Healthcare B for the 3rd year. The team was presented with a $1,000 check from United Healthcare for the school. The team, which is coached by Nurse Carol Martinez, is comprised of Arha Gatran, Elise Penatos, Sami Qureshi, Wudra Singh, and Proma Kolkani, all 7th graders. John Adams Middle School Theater Company has been busily rehearsing for its production of Aladdin, which will be performed on Wednesday and Thursday, June 3rd and 4th. Past productions at Adams have been truly extraordinary, and this would be a great opportunity for parents of our younger children to see a charming Disney play without having to pay the Broadway prices. So that's coming up June 3rd and 4th. It's in the middle of the week. And finally, the J.P. Stevens Theater Company has received the prestigious Foxy Award in 2 categories from Montclair State University for its brilliant production of Pride and Prejudice, directed by Mrs. Darlene Rich. The J.P. Stevens Theater Company won honors for Best Lighting Design using a rented light board and Best Lead Actors in a Classical Play, Miss Diane Cervelli. JP received 3 other nominations for Costume Design, Overall Production in a Classical Play, and Best Supporting Actress in a Classical Play, Miss Jillian Zahn. The 10th annual Foxy Awards were presented on Monday, May 4th at Montclair State's Memorial Auditorium. So congratulations to JPS.
Thank you. Any other? Yes, Mr. Fresher.
You know, I'd like to say I've seen a lot of productions that we've done at Edison High, J.P. Stevens, and John Adams, and they were very, very impressive. What I'd like to do is I'd like to see if we can set aside maybe $25,000 because it seems like all of the schools either need a lighting board or a sound, they need something or equipment where we're renting it at JP now. I know Edison High needed something and John Adams needed a sound system, and people are willing to donate, and they donate about half of the funds for it. I think maybe if we match the funds for whatever the PTO or the organizations can raise, I think that'd be a good thing.
So you're suggesting a one-on-one match?
A one-on-one match.
Okay, I'll consider that. Yes, Mr. Yeah.
Okay. Lori Mayer, the supervisor of sciences on the secondary level, has informed us that a student from J.P. Stevens and a student from Edison High School, we don't have their names, were semifinalists in the USA Biology Olympiad, so we wish them good luck in the next step. Also, 5 Middlesex students received art scholarships from the Rutgers University Zimmerli Art Museum, and they are Donna Abbey of Herbert Hoover, Quandro Boateng of James Monroe, Robert Dudash of Woodrow Wilson, and I'm Cameron Varsha. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name, but from Woodbrook School. I don't want to pronounce it because I'll pronounce it incorrectly. Woodbrook School. So we had 5 students win awards, and it's a scholarship to study art at the Zimmerli this summer. So that's very nice. And also the Edison Township Municipal Alliance is having its Family Day this Sunday, and it is not going to rain. It's Sunday at Papiani Park, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There'll be a taste of Edison. There'll be a magic show, crafts, games, woodworking, rides, face painting, music, and much more. And it's always a very fun family day, so I hope you'll show up Sunday at Papiani Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Shee. I attended 2 very nice events since the last meeting, the Care Walk, which I think Mr. Shee, Mr. Brescher was there, and Teresa was there. Yep. So the Care Walk was very nice. Thank you to Dora Ramos. The weather kind of held out, a little chilly, but it's a good day for a walk. And then
you guys didn't walk.
I didn't walk, no. I'm too old.
I walked.
And then I attended the Autism Awareness Program up at J.P. Stevens. It was canceled and rescheduled. It was a very nice event. They had some raffles, some silent auctions. Lindsay James, who headed up that event, was very, very good. I actually coached Lindsay at J.P. Stevens when I was a soccer coach there. So she's an excellent, not only role model and teacher, but she does a nice job with the autistic program. And also Rachel, which is another young lady I coached, and I can't remember her last name off the top of my head, but I think she's a current lacrosse coach at J.P. Stevens. So again, I'd like to thank anyone. I even got an autism bracelet out of it. So, so the kids loved it at my school. So thank you.
Any other board members? I just have two quick announcements. The next Wednesday, the J.P. Stevens Band will host a jazz festival. Starts at 6:45 next Wednesday. There will be the J.P. Band and a lot of the other school bands, as well as our district middle school bands. They will be participating in this event. So 6:45, welcome to the JP Jazz Extravaganza. And the other announcement is next Tuesday, we're gonna have a opening of the Debbie Ains Memorial Gym at the JP Stevens. So, please come, and we'll have a plaque, and the gym will be named after Debbie Ains.
I believe that's at 5 p.m. Is that 5 p.m., I believe?
What time is that?
I want to say I have it on my phone.
I think it was 5.
Look at the
I have it on my phone.
well.
Yeah, give me a sec.
23rd.
It's 22nd, yeah.
Oh, 22nd, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
I have it 5 p.m. on my phone. I don't know if that's correct.
You better get it right, Jerry, so you're
No,
there.
it's 5 o'clock? Okay, I wrote it wrong. Okay, 5 o'clock, I'm sorry. 5 o'clock, Tuesday, Debbie Ains Memorial Ceremony. Thank you. Now we open for public comments. So anybody, name, address? Yes, go ahead.
You don't have to. I don't want to force you.
Just two quick things. If graduation is on Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. If graduation is on Friday, the 21st, at 1 and 4:30, that's an early dismissal day.
It's
Yes.
a half day anyway.
Okay. So if younger siblings need to go to graduation and therefore the 1 o'clock, they'll be in a rush. And my second thing, I love the idea of you advertising for everything, but June 3rd and 4th is a Sunday and Monday, Beth. So
June 3rd and 4th
it's a Sunday and Monday.
Oh, well, it's
So-
the Wednesday, it's the Wednesday.
6th and
It's
7th.
6th and 7th.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
John
thank you.
Adams
Yeah.
plays on the 6th
Yeah,
and
I didn't
7th.
have my
I
calendar
wanted to
with
give
me.
them their due if
Yeah.
people are interested in going.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson. Just a couple of things. A reminder, if anyone's interested, Edison High PTSO still has some lawn signs for those graduating. Please send us an email. We'd like to thank everybody that showed up on April 28th for the Spring Craft Fair. That raised a lot of money for a project graduation.
I spent a lot of money.
No, 17,000, thank you. Any updates on the next committee meetings? When the next overcrowding and the other community meetings?
Ralph?
What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mr. Brescia was confused. He thought this year was 1 o'clock and 4:30.
I was just,
No,
yeah.
it's next year.
Next year.
This is next year's
Right, 'cause
calendar.
I'm just looking at the calendar for the,
No, this
For
year,
this year.
everything's the same.
I'm sorry, was there a question?
Update on the next committee meetings, the overcrowding and
Oh,
the-
overcrowding, yes. Update on that. We finally connected with the council. We are going to have a council/Board of Ed liaison meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. After
okay.
what we find out, I don't think that's a public meeting,
Oh,
but I wanted to have that meeting first before we can discuss the next meeting. So as soon as we find out information from the township, we have some questions for them as far as helping, and sharing some services and things like that. Then we could have a final meeting, and then I would make a recommendation to Mr. Shi on what we should be looking at for either new schools, building on top of schools, any of the suggestions that came out of the committee meeting. So I just wanted to get that council meeting under our belt first, and then announce the next meeting on Monday.
And the other committee, I think there's a,
Community relations?
Yeah, so we got snowed out of our March date, and so looking forward, once you hit spring break, people have checked out. Not a good time of the year to start the Community Relations Committee. So Mr. Ross and I spoke, and we're going to kick that off in the fall, so a fresh start. So you'll be hearing from us then.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? See none, let's move on. Yeah?
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be resolved by the Board of Education of the Township of Edison as follows. 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of and action upon the herein specified subject matters. 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed as follows. Attorney-client privilege discussion regarding student issues, ETA grievances, PERC, and unfair labor practices and negotiations. Under personnel, will be discussing resignations and terminations, retirements, appointments, reappointments, leaves of absences, changes of status, longevity, substitute staff, IDEA funded personnel, salary adjustments, ESL Summer Literacy Academy, extended school year, camp invention, summer enrichment, summer secretary appointments, summer guidance counselors, summer school secondary credit, and failure recovery, 2017-18 translators, and 2017-18 co-curricular appointments. 3, it is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists, and 4, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Can I have a motion? Mr. Errico? Mrs. Ward?
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. DiStefano?
Yes.
Mr. Brescher?
Yes.
Mr. Errico?
Yes.
Mrs. Ward?
Yes.
Mrs. Maroney?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
All yes.
We do not expect to come back after this discussion, so I'll see you guys on Monday.